Now, if you're considering the AirPods Pro and the Jabra Elite 75Ts, you're going to want to watch this video. This is EBPMAN Tech Reviews, and today we're going to do a feature comparison as well as a call quality test, EBPMAN style, of both of these products. Let's get right to it. Now, if you're considering the AirPods Pro and the Jabra Elite 75T, in this video, we're going to do a feature comparison that's going to cover the battery life. We're going to talk about fit and finish. We're going to talk about the audio quality. Also, some of the unique features, like this one right here has active noise canceling. This one doesn't. We're also going to talk about the price. Hopefully, this is going to help you with your buying decision, especially for this holiday, because I'm sure both of these products are going to be on sale. So let's get right to it.
Make sure you hit the subscribe button and tap the little bell icon to get notified when new videos become available.
Now, as we take a look at the battery life, the Jabra Elite 75Ts have it won. You're talking about 7.5 hours of battery life with a 28 total battery life with this case. You also have fast charging technology, so within 15 minutes, you're going to get 60 minutes of usage. The other thing that where these really rule is in standby time. You're talking 6 months standby time. That means if you put them in the case, you put them in your bag, and you don't touch them for 6 months, when you pick them up, they're going to work. Now, the AirPods Pro are going to give you 4.5 hours of usage, and you can bump that up if you disable transparency mode, also active noise canceling. In my experience, having used these for a couple trips now, I've been able to get around the 4.5 hour mark, so that's true to the spec. The other thing is that this does support quick charging technology, which means in 5 minutes, you're going to get an hour of usage. Now, taking a look at both of these cases, they're very compact and they're going to fit easily in your pocket. One of the big differences that I find is that the AirPods support wireless charging, which is incredibly convenient. And then what you have here, though, which is also very convenient, is the fact that the Jabra Elite 75Ts support the USB-C cord. So you have one USB-C cord that could work with all your devices. Here, you're going to need Apple's proprietary connection. But again, the downfall is that the Jabra Elites do not support wireless charging, which is something I would want. Now, storing your earbuds in the case is really convenient because these cases both support magnetic locking. So as I flip these over, they're not going to come out. And also, the lock or the actual cover snaps into place really nicely. So once again, these are going to guide in and lock into place, and it's going to make it really convenient for you to know that they're charging. As we take a look at the AirPods Pro, you have the same situation. If I were to keep this open, they're not going to come out. If I close it just like this, you'll notice once again, they're going to be very secure. And even as I drop them in the case, they are going to be self-guiding as well. Now, both of these earbuds have an IP rating, which means they're going to be safe for working out. But you have an IP rating of 4 for the AirPods Pro, and you have an IP rating of 55 for the Jabra Elite 75Ts. So the Jabra Elites have a higher IP rating. Now, from a weight perspective, they weigh the same. You're talking about 0.19 grams. That's really, really light. So both of these are going to be convenient, and you're going to be able to wear them for long periods of time. Now, both of these earbuds support Bluetooth 5.0, but the advantage is really on the AirPod side. And that's because the AirPods could be used independently. So you can use one earbud separately and then pull out the other one and use it separately. With the actual Jabra Elite 75Ts, you can only use the right one separately. Now, the other thing that you have going on here is that they both support auto pause. So if you take them out of your ear when you're listening to music, the music will stop with both. Now, as you take a closer look at the earbuds themselves, one of the things that you'll notice here from the Jabra is that the Jabra is very small, but it's really designed to fit in your ear and give you a seal. So it's going to do a fantastic job. Matter of fact, I would say that the Jabra Elite 75Ts have the best passive noise canceling on the market. They seal really well, so when I put this in my ear, you're going to see this right here, and it locks into place. It's basically giving me incredible passive noise isolation, and when I play music, I literally don't hear anything. So the cool thing about this is that because they don't use power to create any kind of noise canceling, these are going to last longer. Unlike the AirPods Pro, in order to get noise canceling or to improve the seal, that even though this has the kind of seal that's going to go in your ear, and I'm going to put this right here so you can see what this looks like, the seal is not the same. I can literally hear myself speaking through the AirPod side, and I cannot hear myself at all through the Jabra Elite 75Ts. So these are going to give you a better, I would say, immersive experience when it comes to having no active noise canceling. Now, from an active noise canceling perspective, the AirPods Pro have them beat. Now, the other area that we'll talk about is transparency mode. Now, transparency mode in both of these earbuds is very similar, so I would give them both an equal mark when it comes to transparency. Now, going back to the earbuds, one thing I wanted to make sure that we talked about was the controls. So while both of these have controls, the the Jabra Elite 75Ts have physical control. So you have a physical button that you press versus this has a button right here that you just press hard, but it's not a physical button that you would tap in order to do the controls. You can have controls or programming done within your iPhone to control different functions. With this one though, you have a set amount of settings that you can go through, and each earbud has a unique use. So play pause on one side and transparency on the other, so that it's really designed to work as a pair. Now, from a comfort perspective, they're both incredibly comfortable, and I've worn them for several hours without any issues. It really comes down to what's the look you're looking for. Now, we know that some of us, as we have the AirPods, you see a lot of people with AirPods. AirPods have become more of like a fashion statement, so you having it means like, you know, I'm in the AirPod crowd or the Apple crowd. But this is what it would look like if you have the Jabra Elite 75Ts. So I'm going to turn to the right and to the left. From a shake test perspective, they don't come out. They're very comfortable. I'll go ahead and take these out. And remember, these have incredible, and I have to say that, incredible passive noise canceling. Now I'm going to put the AirPods in. Actually, I got them backwards. Now this is what the AirPods would look like. And I'm going to do the shake test. Get a little headache there. They don't come out either. So they do stay in your ear. They're very comfortable, and I can use these again for hours without issue. All right, next let's talk about audio reproduction. Now, both of them sound great. So let's first talk about the Jabra Elite 75Ts. The 75Ts are going to give you a wide soundstage. They're going to favor the bass. So if you like bass, then these are definitely the way to go because they're going to be very bass heavy. However, if you want to be able to bring in mids and highs, you can adjust it in the EQ settings of the app to bring in the mids and the highs. But the bass is going to be, in some cases, it could be, if you don't adjust it, overpowering, and it's not really in my taste. I love bass, but I don't like bass that is so high that it's going to overpower the mids and the highs. I like a really immersive experience. Now, keep in mind that when I talk about bass and even saying that it favors the warm side, they're not going to compare to the Sennheisers. Neither of these are going to compare to the Sennheisers. But moving over to the AirPods Pro, I will tell you that these are my go-to Apple products. AirPods 1, AirPod 2, even the Power Beats, these sound absolutely amazing. They have great bass, it's punchy, it's a wide, I would say, soundstage. You can hear a lot of detail. But there are some differences. So I want to share with you a couple of the songs I was listening to so that you can understand what the differences are, and that's going to help you choose even further if you're really looking for a specific music experience. Now, this is going to help you determine which one of these earbuds you're going to want based on your music preference and, more importantly, the experience. So take a look at the song Songbird. So when Songbird starts, there is the strumming of some strings on a guitar as the vocals come in. Well, both of these, you're going to hear the strumming, but let me tell you the difference. With the Jabra Elite, I was able to hear more detail, even the kind of almost like the reverb of the actual strings themselves when they were strummed. You could actually hear more of the detail. With the AirPods, I didn't get that level of fidelity, but there's also more of a difference. So as I was listening to this song, Songbird, with the Jabra Elite 75Ts, I would put it as if I was in a studio and the song, the musicians, the artists, they were maybe a few feet away from me and I was watching them play. That's the experience I got. Great reproduction, all the vocals were there, mids and highs and bass was there, but I was watching them. Now, there's a difference though. When I was listening to the same song with the AirPods Pro, it wasn't just only that I was listening to them, but it was almost like if I was sitting right next to them. So, imagine yourself watching a guitarist play and you're watching them from maybe 4 feet away. That's what you get here. But it's still good, you're still in the studio. Now if you look at these, it's like you're sitting down in a stool right next to the guitarist listening to them play. It's that immersive. The other thing that I found with the AirPods Pro was as we went into, let's say for example, Charlie, we're over here from Mallrat, there is the beginning of the song, or throughout the song, you're going to hear piano playing. And it was like if I was sitting next to someone playing the piano. That's how immersive these are. It's like if you're there. And then there's a part in Mallrat where there's some snapping of some fingers, right? And those fingers, it felt like I was sitting next to the pianist, the person who was singing, and I had people around me that started snapping because they were saying, man, this sounds great. Now, when I was listening to it with the Jabra Elite 75Ts, I was still in the same studio, but I was not sitting next to the pianist. I was actually sitting in the studio watching everything happen. So I hope that helps you understand what I see as a difference between these two. And if you have these, and if you have, I would say the AirPods or either one of these, I'd encourage you to test that to see if that's the kind of experience you have. So which one would I choose? Well, it really depends on the immersive experience you want. Do you want the experience where you're sitting next to the person that's playing the music, that kind of immersive experience? Then go here. If you want to be able to hear a great audio experience, but you're maybe a couple of feet away from the action, but you're still immersed, then this is the way to go. Now both of these have some special features. Over here on this side you have special features where it gives you the ability to turn on active noise canceling or transparency mode. And I'm telling you, I have used these on a plane and I've compared them to the Bose 700s, the Sonys, as well as the Amazon Buds. And they do an amazing job on a plane when it comes to active noise canceling. On this side, I've also used these on a plane and they have great passive noise canceling. And what I like about these is that when I put them in my ear, you get a certain level of isolation, like if you're putting earplugs in, and then when you play music, and it doesn't have to be loud, everything goes away. So they do really well, but this really has the upper hand because it does have active noise canceling. But like I said on the transparency mode, I find that they're equal. All right guys, we're simulating a noisy environment here, 360 sound, coffee shop, office-like experience, and you can see that our decibel ratings are anywhere from an average of 50 all the way up to 81 decibels. We're gonna switch to the AirPods Pro.
This is what the call quality would sound like when making a phone call from the AirPods Pro in a noisy environment with a noise factor of anywhere from 51 to 83 decibels. Let me know what you think about the call quality from the AirPods Pro. This is a test. 1, 2, 3. This is a test. This is what it would sound like taking a phone call on the AirPods Pro.
Alright guys, so now we're doing a call quality test of the Jabra Elite 75Ts. And as you can see, same noisy environment, 360 sound, we're in a coffee-like experience, decibel ratings anywhere from 53 all the way up to 80. So we're going to switch to the Jabra Elite 75Ts.
This is what the call quality would sound like when making a phone call from the Jabra Elite 75Ts. This is a test. 1, 2, 3. This is a test. This is what it would sound like when taking a phone call on the Jabra Elite 75Ts. Let me know what you thought about the call quality in the comment area below.
So that wraps up our comparison between the Jabra Elite 75Ts and the AirPods Pro. Which one would you choose? Would you go with the AirPods Pro or would you go with the Jabra Elite 75Ts? Love to hear from you.